The 1978 Kennedy half-dollar represents the end of a long transition in American coinage, a point where the half-dollar had become more symbolic than practical. By 1978, the coin was no longer made with silver, struck instead in a copper-nickel-clad composition over a pure copper core. Although its face value remained 50 cents, the coin had shifted away from everyday use. Most people rarely saw half-dollars in circulation, but collectors continued to save them, drawn by the design and history that began with the tragic events of 1963. The obverse still carries the familiar portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, with strong, clean lines reflecting a modern aesthetic of the 1970s. The reverse, created by Frank Gasparo, features the presidential seal with the eagle clutching an olive branch and arrows, surrounded by 50 stars. Both sides were refined by this time, and coins often show crisp detail when well struck. The date, 1978, sits below the neck, with mint marks appearing just above the date on coins from Denver and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark. More than 33 million pieces were struck in Denver and 25 million in Philadelphia, while the San Francisco Mint produced proof coins for collectors. While common in mintage, condition separates ordinary coins from the truly valuable. Circulated examples hold minimal premium, but high-grade uncirculated pieces with full luster bring solid collector interest. Coins graded MS-66 or higher are rare and can sell for $100 to $250. Exceptional examples graded MS-67 have sold for over $1,200, and flawless proofs with deep cameo contrast have reached $800 to $1,000 at auction. One of the reasons this coin stands out is its consistency. Unlike earlier transitional years, the 1978 issue avoided major die varieties or compositional experiments. Yet quality control varied by mint. Denver strikes tend to show stronger detail, while Philadelphia issues sometimes exhibit softer edges or light weakness in Kennedy's hair. Proof coins from San Francisco display mirror-like fields and frosted devices, a hallmark of late 1970s mint craftsmanship. Collectors often seek deep cameo proofs, which bring the highest premiums, especially in perfect PR-70 condition. Historically, the 1978 Kennedy half-dollar reflects the U.S. Mint's struggle to keep the denomination relevant. Despite attempts to increase circulation, public interest waned. The coin's large size and low everyday utility kept it from being widely used. Yet, it endured as a collector's favorite. Sets including this year's issue were commonly sold through mint packaging, preserving many coins in pristine state. For those building complete Kennedy half-dollar collections, 1978 is an important link between the earlier silver-clad coins of the 1960s and the purely clad coins of the 1980s. It represents stability and refinement rather than change. The dies were well made, the relief was balanced, and the overall finish was cleaner than in earlier years. Some enthusiasts note a subtle golden tone that develops naturally over time, giving well-preserved coins added visual appeal. While it may not carry the silver value or emotional weight of the 1964 issue, the 1978 Kennedy half-dollar still commands respect. It shows how a design rooted in national memory survived through decades of shifting tastes and metal policies. It was the last coin before the mint prepared for changes in packaging and distribution in the 1980s. For investors, the coin's value lies in condition. Mint state coins with original luster, full details, and no contact marks perform best. Registry quality examples graded MS-67 or proof PR-70 remain scarce and have crossed $1,500 in premium sales. Even though millions were minted, very few survived in flawless form. The 1978 Kennedy half-dollar endures as a reminder that even in an era of mass production, precision and preservation still define true numismatic worth.
The
The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar stands as a bridge between the early silver-era Kennedys and the fully modern clad issues that followed. By 1974, Americans had grown accustomed to a world without silver in their circulating coins. The half-dollar, once prized for its weight and metallic shine, had transformed into a coin admired mostly for its design and symbolism. Still, this year's issue offers subtle minting details, proof variations, and condition-based rarity that make it a favorite among collectors. Struck in copper-nickel clad composition over a pure copper core, the 1974 half-dollar carries the same portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. His profile faces left, sharp and confident, framed by the inscriptions, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." On the reverse, Frank Gasparo's heraldic eagle dominates the design, surrounded by 50 stars symbolizing national unity. The powerful contrast of strength and grace remains one of the most admired elements of modern U.S. coinage. Coins were produced at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. The Philadelphia pieces show no mint mark. The Denver versions display a small D below Kennedy's neck, and San Francisco produced stunning proof strikes. Over 79 million were minted in Philadelphia and 64 million in Denver, while the San Francisco mint made around 2.6 million proofs. Though common in circulation, pristine examples are scarce. The 1974 D variety is known for one of the most fascinating errors in modern coinage: the 1974 D doubled die obverse. In this rare variety, doubling appears on WETRUST and sometimes LIBERTY, visible even under modest magnification. These coins are highly sought after, with prices ranging from $100 in lower grades to over $2,500 in mint state. A perfect MS-66 example with clear doubling has even sold for more than $3,000 at auction. Beyond the error variety, condition remains the main driver of value. Circulated coins are worth around their face value, but sharp, uncirculated examples with original mint luster attract collectors. A typical MS-65 coin sells between $20 and $30, while premium MS-67 examples can reach $500. Proofs with deep cameo contrast, particularly those graded PR69 DCAM or PR70 DCAM, often sell for $300 to $800. What makes the 1974 issue particularly interesting is its timing. It came just before the U.S. Mint began large-scale preparation for the country's bicentennial celebration. In that sense, it represents the last standard Kennedy design before the dual-date 1776 to 1976 coins took over. It also arrived during a period of economic instability, when inflation and metal shortages influenced public perception of coin collecting. Even as silver vanished from circulation, coins like the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar continued to connect Americans to the art and heritage of their money. The mint's quality control during this time produced a wide range of results. Some coins show strong hair detail and deep frost on Kennedy's portrait, while others appear softly struck. Collectors often prefer the Denver issues for their sharper definition. Proofs from San Francisco, however, remain the best examples of craftsmanship, showcasing deep black fields and black-white frost when preserved properly. A flawless, deep cameo proof in PR70 condition stands at the top of desirability for this year, commanding auction prices above $1,000. High-end registry collectors pay strong premiums for perfectly preserved examples, as the smallest imperfection can separate a common coin from a record breaker. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar may seem modest compared to its silver predecessors, but it reflects an important evolution in American numismatics. It marked stability after a decade of change, bridging two eras of coinage. For many, it remains a tangible piece of 1970s America, a time when the mint mastered modern production, yet still managed to preserve artistry and symbolism. In today's market, A superbly struck 1974 Kennedy half-dollar in top mint state or proof condition continues to bring impressive results. At its best, this coin reminds collectors that history and value do not always depend on silver. Sometimes, they live in the precision of a design, the perfection of a strike, and the memory of a president whose legacy still defines one of the most enduring coins in American history.